Hello, hello, good evening. This is Sinette Natura Angela. Welcome to the City of Healing, where the city resides within. And this evening I have a very special guest with me, my nephew, my graduate, the scholar, Matthew. I will allow him to introduce himself, tell a little bit about himself and his graduation, his major, and his plan real briefly. And then we'll get into a conversation about a couple of videos that I made today. So,
Thank you, Angie, for having me. So I'm excited. I'm going into this amazing path in life. I just graduated. I'm excited for my future. So I graduated today from the great A&T State University, North Carolina A&T State University. And I am majoring I got 2 degrees in psychology and English creative writing. So what I'm gonna do with those 2 degrees is I'm gonna use them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a year break though before I go to grad school, but it's for a good cause, a great purpose. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to invest in all my gifts that I have. Use this summertime, to invest in all the gifts that I have. And I'm going to, first off, so I said that I mentioned I was a psychology, English, creative writing major. So the English creative writing, I'm going to find me a literary agent to help me publish my books and stuff like that, and the ideas I have concerning my writing. But also use this time to invest and save money and volunteer in the community, help the community out to build up a stronger resume as I move into grad school next fall. So, but I'm really excited for my future.
sounds good, sounds good. So, basically, you're going to be going to entrepreneurship, or you looking to develop a career path, or you're just basically filling your way until you start grad school?
I'm trying to be an entrepreneur. I'm trying to get the money in every which way possible. The thing about it is, in order to be a multi-millionaire and a millionaire, period, you gotta have multiple ways of income. So, like I said before, I'm gonna, use all my profit off of all my gifts. I can't necessarily tell y'all my ideas, because then it'll be our ideas, and I gotta make it happen first, and then y'all can witness the the fruits of that. But I'm definitely excited. Definitely excited.
I'm excited too. It's a great graduation. As you know, we are very proud of you. You did an excellent job graduating with honors, graduating on time.
Oh yeah.
And especially with 2 majors, so
Oh,
and working at the same time. So very good. Very proud of you. And I wanted to also have a brief discussion about my videos that I did today. Those 2 videos, hurt people, and I said that basically when you're in intimate relationships, sometimes you don't really get to know the person until months, or sometimes years later, and the person starts to show their real fruit, and sometimes the relationship can be mentally, physically, emotionally abusive, and we wonder why people are like that. And my conclusion is that hurt people. Sometimes this is the rationale for that. Not making an excuse, but in fact that is true, because some people had traumatic past with certain women in their lives, their first woman relationship in their lives, like their mother or an intimate relationship person, or a father figure, or an early intimate relationship with a male. So I wanted to briefly discuss that, get your take on that as well. Since you're being a psychology major, what have you learned, or what experiences have you come in contact, or whether you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, I've seen people who are depressed in a way. Like when people are depressed, they usually their environment is, they affect their environment by, how they, by their emotions and stuff like that. Usually when people are depressed, they like, how sometimes it is when people are hurt, they just feel like they want other people to feel their pain. And then when people are just in general, when they're hurt, they kind of, like, let's say if you try to help that person out and get involved with them when they don't really want to be helped, that's the thing. People gotta want to feel better. And when people when people don't necessarily want to feel better, it's like, it's kind of almost like they want to either grab attention or they're literally out to hurt someone else. I wouldn't say stay away from those people, but when you come across a person who is depressed or, not feeling too great or feeling hurt, I would just say be that positive person in their life. So even though they're projecting a negative aura or whatever, and they're kind of pulling you to kind of suffocate in that negativity with them, I would say be more positive on your end and kind of create a balance to things, or kind of override that negativity and uplift them to make them feel better about themselves. Because don't give up on people. But then again, people gotta learn from. You never know what it was that caused them to, So you gotta let them be able to handle that on themselves. You gotta let them be independent. You don't want them to be dependent on you to, uplift, make them feel better and stuff like that. So.
Right. So my point was, as far as being like in intimate relationships, you get into relationships, and relationships are perfect in the beginning, but then we all tend to show who we really are later on in a relationship.
Exactly.
And sometimes, and sometimes even earlier, or what we call some playboys, they just go around from woman to woman, breaking women's heart, not hearing from them again, this, that, and the other. Instead of being respectful, if something is not working for them, or they don't feel that relationship is for them, they just rather just what they call go ghost. And, but that being said, hurt people because it's not normal, I feel, for people to just treat people bad. There have to have been something, to cause people to respond that way to other people. And I'm not saying don't help people, because that's what I do a lot. But as far as being in relationship with that person, if you find that they're toxic, you have to let that person, get the help that they need and steer them in that direction. But, you have to think of self first, but not self only. If you're going to be someone's coach or someone's nurse, you be that, but you can't put yourself out there as, this is my boyfriend. I have to help this person no matter how bad they treat me. That's kind of a toxic type of relationship.
Right. There's a lot of unrequited love situations, and like you said, at first it seems perfect, right? But that's just an image. When you meet, the interest is high. People they're intrigued by, the other person, and it feels that way at first, but it's.
Yeah, turns out to be not so, right? So you just have to. That's why. What do you feel about this this 90-day rule before sexual intimacy?
It's really is up to. Before I answer that, I want to say one thing. Okay, so when people enter a new fresh relationship, and they invest themselves into this relationship, I mean, of course, enjoy it and stuff like that. But no matter what the other person does, don't let it ruin your life. No
Right.
matter, don't let your attachment to them be stronger than how you feel about about yourself, and how you
Right.
how solid you are with yourself. So you're saying the 90-day rule.
Yeah. For sexual intimacy.
Yeah, it's between them if they want to
Right.
agree on that. But let's just say sexual compatibility is important, but it depends what that goes. Because some people are in platonic relationships. They don't really like sex isn't really, but it's an important part.
Right.
Well, let's just say what I consider the 90-day rule. It's too personal.
What I've noticed in talking to young people, I know a lot of young people, nieces and nephews, and stepchildren. The 90-day rule is not mostly in the early adult and adolescent stages of life. They don't really
mature,
think about. It's more like the 30 and beyond.
Right, I see it more so with that. Cause,
yeah.
Well, to be honest, with the younger people around my age, like when you're in your early 20s,
you're exploring.
Yeah, just you might as well expect that. I mean, it's very rare that people at that age, if they're the same age, at that same, like in their early 20s, or they're both in their early 20s, just expect that it's very rare that they would stick it out. But just know that, hey, y'all young, there's a lot of life ahead of y'all.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things to see or whatever. But that's the thing, it shows how devoted you are. If it's.
Yeah. How about STDs, or not sexually transmitted disease, but spiritually transmitted disease during intimacy? I know a lot of young people don't really consider that because they appreciate or want more of the physical. But every person that your partner has slept with, or every person that you slept with, is the same person that your partner.
It kind of is. Okay.
Yeah, there's those spiritually transmitted diseases, those spirits, those good and bad, are it's energy.
So it's like they bring the dark to the bedroom, almost like that darkness. That those, I wouldn't say darkness, but it depends what this relationship is when they're in the bedroom. If they're in a marriage, or if they're just in boyfriend and girlfriend type little relationship. They are carrying all the, because what they've experienced before that encounter, that they're bringing it to because sex and at first is supposed to be kind of like, I wouldn't say, I'm not trying to say sacred or romantic, but it should be sacred. Well, yeah, right. I was just trying to think of another term, but it's kind of it's just more innocent at first, but after a while, if you're just stacking up all these numbers, it kind of just, I mean, but let's just say if your drive is basically, or basically lust, if it's that type of realm, then that's what they desire, more of those dark acts. But it's really supposed to be just pretty much just pure love. It's not all like, I would say, all these internet things have kind of stir people to kind of doing wild things, but and making it, stray far from what it was actually meant to be. But
Yeah, my point was, there's not only sexually transmitted disease, and those diseases become what we think or call as a physical sexually transmitted disease of your genitalia, but it's also a spiritual thing as well. It can transmute different types of energy.
Yeah, definitely.
On you and your partner and your future partner. So
right.
You really have to, you can't wear no condoms for those, in other words.
Okay, so that's what I was trying to say too. Like, yeah, they're basically they're gonna exploit everything they kind of did before on you, and it's like they mold you into all those things that they did, and it's like you're a result of all those experiences.
Right.
And you carry those as well because the partner that they had, or if they're a virgin, they, beforehand, they didn't have all those,
right.
things before, and then once you present that to them, I don't know what the relationship is based off of or whatever, is like you're accepting that into your life, and then it can, be a negative impact.
Right, that's an excellent point. And I'll end it with this because I don't make really long videos, but I end it with this, that you made an excellent point that you cannot bring your past relationship or your past experiences into your current situations to have successful relationships. Can you expound upon that? And I so agree with that, and I've mentioned it before in the videos now, because that I just made earlier, because sometimes, we've all gone through a lot, in relationships. And we want to say this person did this to us, that person did that person, this, that, and the other. But we always have to keep in mind, this is what we allowed also. We can't control anything anyone else do, but we are in full control of what we do. And if we feel that we are not being respected, if we're confused about the relationship, and the relationship does not have any connection or any realness with it, I feel the liberty, and I will suggest anyone, and it's healthy, it feels healthy for me to just walk away. And I think it's excellent, if you had these past bad relationships or history where you didn't have a good relationship with your father or your mother and it was toxic, and these people sometimes don't have future good relationship with women. They don't like women, or they don't like men, so their relationships are not good with them. And it's good that, before entering into relationships, that you consider this and see how you've healed yourself and you've forgiven that person and even yourself, so that you can progress and don't bring it into a relationship, So
I was about to say also, you mentioned earlier, not in the video, but you said that it slipped. Never mind.
it'll come back. So anything you want to say about what I just said about?
As a matter of fact, that's what I was gonna add to that, but so you pretty much answered it. It slipped.
It's important not to let what Susie did, what Jane did, affect your future relationships. Or if you had a bad relationship with your mother and you don't trust women, not heal that and know that that doesn't have anything to do with you. It's totally that person. And forgive that person and move forward.
Oh yeah, always move forward, for real. And then, okay, I remember now. So it's like when someone's coming up to you, right, and and they're trying to talk to you, it's like you said, it's like they almost need something. Like, they're trying to drag all this information out of you to kind of, trying to, if it almost seems like they seem desperate, to get your number, or to visit or meet up, is like they're they're needy in a sense, and those are the type of people that you want to look out for.
Energy vampires,
Yeah.
some people call them. Lots of energy. We all looking for energy because everything is energy. We all say sometimes, oh, I like her energy, I'm drawn to that person, I'm not drawn to that person, her energy is negative or bad. But we all want energy, but there are energy vampires that consistently are toxic to your life.
Yeah.
And you don't want to have them clinging onto you. And like we mentioned before, the type of people that I tend to attract are people that want some type of healing or need something from me, and know that I have a giving spirit, and they know my energy, so that's what they want, to leech off of that. And I said that it's better for me if I find someone that I find attractive, not to chase them or let them know I'm interested, but just to be in the same area where they are and be discovered by that person if it's meant to be, instead of on a hunt. I'm not on a hunt, but if I find someone attractive, then just be in that arena and just let things happen. It's just like I was just saying, the woman dropping her handkerchief on the floor, and it's up to the man to pick it up or not. And if he doesn't, you just go on to the next and the best, right? So.
Right. Yeah. You don't want to press and try to
Right.
be desperate. Like, let's say because I could see from a male's perspective when they try to go up to a girl to holler at her, they kind of they're trying to hit on her. They're trying to they kind of listen after her, and it's kind of I look back now, and then even I'm gonna be honest, I've been a victim. I think everybody has been a victim of trying to just have like this little one night stand with a person. I look back at those situations of me even trying to attempt stuff like that, and it's just like I'm almost like I'm an animal. Like, why was I trying to do all that? And like, let's say from a from a girl's perspective, I can just see like if you have like these girls all over you, it's like you kind of devalue yourself almost when you're desperate in that sense. So your whole focus shouldn't even be on that. Like, you can find well, first off, you don't need to be really lusting anyway, but you'll find a passionate relationship when you just focus in on yourself and you put yourself in positive areas. Then people that you may be attracted to may be in those areas, and sense your your energy, and see how you're living, and you can connect in that.
Exactly my point. I'm not on a manhunt for no one at all, but it is good to raise your vibration, raise your frequency, and be in the midst of those that have that high vibration and high frequency as well. We all know that feeling of positive energy and negative energy. So that was my point. Anything else?
Yeah, there's no hunting season for love,
All right.
Love yourself, and
yourself.
love will find you.
That's right.
Really, I love being like just self motivated. I actually do, because I'm just so ready to like assert all my plans out into the world, just experience all this stuff that it's coming pretty soon. I'm just ready. I'm ready for it.
It's happening. It's happening. I feel it. I'm very proud of you. We all are. I know we are looking forward to much more success in your life and much more happiness, and I know it's coming.
I've been working hard lately. That's why I look tired. So
Yeah.
I've been working hard, But
Yeah, always
gotta
working
do what I
hard.
gotta do.
That's right. Yeah, and
works
hopefully
out, yeah.
we'll be doing more videos together.
Oh yeah.
And you show me how to edit videos, because I don't know how to do
We're gonna
that.
edit this one right here.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, we're gonna chop
Okay.
this up and Because all of this don't need to be in there.
Really?
But,
Okay,
yeah.
he's gonna
Yeah.
edit it for me, and show me how to vlog at a lot of other stuff too. But I'm not gonna get too much from him. Let him get some rest. But anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for visiting the city, and I hope that you all have a blessed evening. Thank you, Matthew. I look forward to having you again as my special guest.
Thank you, Auntie.
You all take care. Blessings.